Rube Cross was a pioneer in the dry fly movement in the United States. This is one of his flies that is a cross between a light Cahill and a quill Gordon, and it got the name the Cross Special. I'm tying it on a number 14 hook. Recipe I'm using says 12 to 16. I'm using tan thread. The tail, about the length of the shank, is light done hackle barbs. I'll tie those in first. Clip out the butt ends. Randall Kaufman labels the dimensions of the fly with 100% right behind the eye and 0 at the bend. So about the 90% mark is where wings are tied in. Wings on the Cross Special are wood duck, about the length of the shank. I'm tying them in with the tips out over the eye of the hook, and then I'll make those stand up. I'll just wrap back to get them tied in, clip off the butt ends. And then I'll wrap back up to where I tied that in and lift up on the tips and then wrap underneath of them to get them to stand up. Missed one. And then I'm going to try to divide them. If I take my thread and just come kitty corner up through the middle of them, maybe take my thread from the front and go to the back through the middle of them. Dividing a small clump of fibers like this is a little trickier, but it can be done with a little bit of patience. Okay, and then I'll grab those and stand them back up again. And then I'll wrap behind them and come down to the tail tie-in. The body is the grayish underfur from fox, and I just happen to have just got a fox pelt. Etsy's a great source for pelts, I've discovered. Not that I'm promoting a particular merchants, but I like to share sources if I can too. So just dub on some of that. It is a red fox pelt that I have, but there is some gray down in the area between the front legs and around the neck, particularly. The front hackle is also light done. I'm just stripping away the fluffy barbs at the bottom, and I do have a clean stem to tie in, but I find that works a little bit better on a real small fly, although 14 isn't real small, but there's not as much room to tie in a crew cut hackle feather. And I want to wrap behind as well as in front. Bring my thread up and drop it off the eye. I'll put my hackle plier on my hackle feather. And then I'll do some winds, wraps behind the wing. Try to size my hackle to the hook. 1 to 1.5 the width of the gape, and then wrap in front. See if I can keep from catching wing barbs. And then I'll wrap up over the tip of that hackle feather a couple times to hold it. Can remove the hackle pliers, and then I'll just pull back on everything. Find that wetting my fingers helps to just grab everything, and then that's about all I want to wrap for a head. Find that tip in there now. And I've lost my hackle tip. There it is. Okay, snap it out. I have a fiber standing up right here at the eye I want to get rid of now before I do my knot. And I think I can use my whip finisher. I'm going to get that whip finisher in place and then just pull back on all the hackle fibers and wrap in front of them. 3 wrap finish is plenty. I can take my scissors and just push them against the thread. I do use a diluted goop. I have a jar, stick my needle in my jar, pick up a drop that on the head. That'll soak in, it will dry clear. And then to make sure that I can get a fishing tippet through the eye of that hook, I'll run a hackle feather through the eye and clean it out. Rube Cross, Cross Special.